To start your snowflake, you need a square piece of paper. The size could really vary and be anything that you have to work with. I like to work a lot with origami paper, or you could do this with regular computer paper or construction paper. If your paper is a rectangle to start, you're going to bring the corner up on the diagonal to meet the other side and then cut off the top. This will leave you with a square piece. If you're starting with a square piece already, you're going to fold it on the diagonal to create a triangle. Next, you're going to fold your triangle in half and crease. When I'm getting ready to start my lines, I like to leave the triangle upside down so that my creases are on the sides and my 4 open edges are facing away from me. You want your line to run in the same direction as that top line. Use a pencil to draw 4 lines over, leaving a space on the other side that's about the width of your finger. This is going to allow all of our strips to stay connected through the middle of our section so that our snowflake section doesn't fall apart. Next, take your scissors and just cut on those lines, remembering to stop before you get all the way to the edge. After it's opened up, I like to use a marker or a pencil or something to help me glue just the middle section since it is a little smaller. This way you're not pressing it down onto the table and squishing it flat. Be patient with it. It might take a second to stick, especially if you're using construction paper because it's a thicker paper. Origami or computer paper will stick pretty quick. After you hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds, you're going to flip it over and we're going to glue the next section. Remember when we're gluing to overlap your pieces so that it creates like a tube instead of bringing them together to create a point. After you add your glue, don't forget to sit and hold. Don't get frustrated if the glue isn't sticking, just be patient. Every time you glue a section, you're going to flip it over to repeat the process. This will allow us to see the alternating spirals going through the section of our snowflake. You're going to continue this process until the entire section is done. After your last piece is complete, you're going to set it off to the side and we're going to repeat this entire process for the remaining 5 pieces of paper. Start by folding your paper in half into a triangle and then folding your triangle in half again. I like to go through and fold all of my papers first, then do all of my cuts, then do all of my gluing. After everything is folded and cut, go ahead and start gluing in that same process, remembering to flip it back and forth every time. After all 6 sections are completed, now it's time to assemble the snowflake. I like to start with 3 to begin with. In this case, I'm doing all of my cool colors, and then I will do the other 3 and then we'll glue the 2 halves together. So you're going to start by putting some glue down on the corner of your snowflake, and then you're going to take the next section and meet up the points and then just sit and hold. Again, it might take a minute for the glue stick to stick. Don't get frustrated, just take your time. Sometimes a stapler comes in handy for this part too. It just depends on how thick your paper is. Okay, so I'm adding the third section. And then once that's done, I'm going to stick that off to the side while I work on my second half. Once the two halves are complete, we're going to glue them together. To do this, I add some glue on my first half, and then you bring the other side in and just overlap the 2 points. Sometimes stapling it helps. Your last and final step is to glue all of the sections together. It helps to make the snowflake a little more sturdy if you're wanting to hang it up.